dragged along. A group of protesters is still there. They've been camped out since last Saturday, protesting against corporate greed. Well, there's apparently a lot of confusion in what is a very tense situation in downtown Melbourne, where the lunchtime is just about to end. A lot of office workers have been on the streets. We can see police vehicles moving in. There are riot police as well as mounted police in the area as they try to completely clear the encampment of Occupy Melbourne protesters. We're watching live pictures from Melbourne at this moment, and the ABC's Ryan Shields is in amongst the protesters in Melbourne. He joins me now on the phone. Ryan, exactly where are you and what can you see?
I'm standing right on the corner of Flinders Street and Collins Street, which is one of the major intersections in central Melbourne, and it's right next to the city square, where, as you say, this protest started almost a week ago now. It's been a bit of a rolling battle here for much of the morning. As police forcibly remove the protesters from one area, they simply occupy the next space. So we've had them moved on from the city square. They then took up camp in the middle of Flinders Street, Swanston Street. They were moved on from there by the riot police, the horses, and also police dogs were used in that operation. And they moved off the adjoining intersection, where again the police are making another push to move them on. So it's a bit of a repeating cycle, and exactly how that will end we're yet to see.
Okay, we are seeing some people being taken away by police. There was a man who was actually being dragged a moment ago in our pictures. Has there been much violence?
Look, there has been. There's been a number of people forcibly removed and arrested, as you say, dragged along. I've seen people with chokeholds applied to them, arm locks to stop them resisting arrest, and a number of other techniques the police do use. We did see vision also of one police officer raising his arm and punching a protester down upon his head. We're not sure whether that was provoked or not in some way, we couldn't see. But it definitely is, getting increasingly violent here. There are a number of protesters, of course, who say that the police are using excessive force and that they were the ones who have really prompted this confrontation, because up until this morning, when the protesters were given their eviction notice by the Melbourne City Council, it was a relatively peaceful demonstration.
Okay, so that main core encampment that we heard about this morning, that has been dismantled, but it appears as if protesters are trying to basically make camps along the street as they're being pushed along. Is that what is going on at the moment?
Yeah, look, that's a good description. The square itself is completely empty. I'm just looking at it now. They've actually put security fencing around it to stop people returning to that space. And the demonstrators are trying to occupy as much of the road as they can. They were chanting at one stage when they were removed from the city square area, as it's called. You have the square, we have the road. So, look, I don't have anything official on the injuries. Anecdotally, I've seen people with bleeding, appearing to be broken noses, other people who have got all forms of grazes in the scuffles and being dragged along the concrete. But as yet, we've had no reports of any serious injuries, and that goes for both the protesters, the police, and the other emergency workers themselves.